in with your VON Major News package for today, Thursday, 21st March 2019. In our lead stories nationally, Prince Charles visits St. Kitts and Nevis after over 4 decades. And drink more water, the focus of World Water Day here on Nevis. Regionally, search begins for new Haitian Prime Minister after government is ousted. Internationally, R. Kelly asks judge for permission to perform in Dubai concerts. And in sports, Heat snaps Spurs 9-game winning streak 110-105. We'll have the details to these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's Powerhouse.
Wow.
Now the national news in detail. Heir to the throne and Prince of Wales, Prince Charles, today, Thursday, 21st March, made his second official visit to St. Kitts and Nevis, along with the wife, Duchess of Cornwall, Camilla. Following the royals' arrival in the Federation at the Robert Llewellyn Bratcher International Airport and the unveiling of a plaque and presentation of the Queen's Commonwealth canopy, the contingent journeyed to Nevis. They were welcomed and greeted at the Charlestown Pier by the Deputy Governor-General, Mrs. Hailita Liburd, Premier of Nevis and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Mark Brantley and Mrs. Brantley, the Nevis Island Administration Cabinet, and a host of onlookers. Following their meeting, Minister Brantley, in speaking to the VON News line, indicated that it was an honor to have the Prince visiting the island after more than 4 decades.
It's a wonderful experience. Prince Charles was last here 45 years ago. So I think a generation of Nevisians have grown up not having seen him, and so we're delighted. He is the next King of England, and so we're absolutely delighted that they've made this trip and included St. Kitts and Nevis and the island of Nevis in this Caribbean itinerary that they've had. So we're delighted to receive them. We're going to go to Government House now and have an opportunity for more of us to interact with them, but we are really delighted that they've come.
He also outlined that this shows how strong the ties between both nations are.
The relationship is strong. It has continued to be strong. I don't think that this boosts or takes away from. It's just part of that relationship that has continued to be a strong relationship. We have had visits from the royals. Prince Harry was here. Princess Diana, now deceased, was here. Queen Elizabeth has come. And now Prince Charles has returned after 45 years. So we're delighted that they're here. And we expect that this just speaks to the strength of the relationship that we've always had with the United Kingdom.
Premier of Nevis and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Mark Brantley. Following their arrival at the Charlestown Pier, the royals journeyed to Government House for a reception, after which the Prince returned to St. Kitts and the Duchess visited the Hermitage Plantation, after which she returned to St. Kitts, where they are both scheduled to visit Brimstone Hill National Fortress and attend a reception at Government House before leaving the Federation. Nevis will on Friday, 22nd March 2019, join the world in the observance of World Water Day. The theme under which the day is being observed is No One Left Behind, with the Health Promotion Unit here on Nevis sub-theme Drink More Water. According to Senior Health Educator Ms. Chevany Nisbet, the department is hoping to raise awareness of the importance of consuming water.
What we are hoping to gain is that individuals are more aware of how much water they should consume. You should consume at least 64 ounces of water per day, like 8-ounce glasses per day. So we're trying to get people to drink more water, and we are definitely trying to get them to decrease the amount of sugar-sweetened beverages that they consume on a daily basis.
The department has also partnered with a number of organizations here on the island to aid in this awareness campaign, along with a number of other activities.
We have collaborated with Nelson Spring Bottling Company as well as the Nevis Spring Water Company, which is located right there at Grove Park. And so they have reduced the price of their water to the general public for that day because they're also with us in trying to get everybody to drink more water. Health promotion, we're also going to be going in Charlestown throughout the day, and we're going to be doing a chugging competition for the businesses that stated they were interested. So we will just pop into these, and then individuals of staff who are interested, we would give them the 8 to 10 ounce bottle of water, and they would drink it as fast as possible to see who can finish the water first. Just something fun we wanted to do to create awareness. And also we're asking individuals who are interested to take a picture of their bottle of water that they would have for the day, or if you walk with a bottle of water to work and you just post it to our Facebook page, Nevis Health Promotion Unit Facebook page.
Senior Health Educator Miss Chevany Nisbet. The Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force continues its program of human resource capacity building. 49 officers have completed a 6 weeks extensive leadership, supervisory and investigative training program which ran from February 4th to March 15, 2019. The first 2 weeks of the course focused on senior officers. The second week, 2 weeks, focused primarily on interviewing skills, and the final 2 weeks focused on carrying out duties ethically and within the law. Facilitator for the training course, which was held at the Police Training School on St. Kitts, Mervyn Darby Allen, said that the officers addressed in some depth the requirements of leadership in the fast-moving contemporary society that exists on this island. He encouraged the officers to use the new skills they developed to enhance their investigative process and keep the high and professional standards that are expected from all those charged with investigating crime. Acting Commissioner of Police Hilroy Brandy said that human resource capacity building continues to be the important component in the successes of the security forces in St. Kitts and Nevis, adding that the officers are being prepared to meet the changing demands in crime fighting in the Federation. The total number of air passengers from major gateways in the year 2018 amounting to 153,364 that followed an over 9.3% increase from 2017 has broken the record for the highest number of air arrivals recorded in the destination's history. A release from the St. Kitts Tourism Authority indicate that prior to the fourth quarter of 2018, a coordinated campaign was created to target potential visitors in key North American states in preparation for peak season 2018-2019. The campaign comprised of public relation communications of special offers and digital, print and TV advertising of the St. Kitts and Nevis brand. It said that the St. Kitts Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism also work closely with airlines to systematically build out air bridges to or from identified target gateways, making the island increasingly easy to reach via air. Demand for St. Kitts and Nevis as a prime destination for travelers continue to rise, with air arrivals for the first 2 months of this year show an increase of 15.3% compared to the same period in 2018. This summer, new non-stop Saturday flights from Dallas starting May 25, 2019 through August 17, 2019 allow an easy travel connection from Houston, Texas and other states in the U.S. West Coast. In more national news,
we are very pleased that Ms. Thompson has been able to be an ambassador for the agriculture sector here on the island of Nevis. Ms. Thompson has been traveling over the years to St. Christ to take part in the agricultural exhibition there. And this is her 10th consecutive year of winning the competition.
Director of Agriculture here on Nevis, Mr. Randy Elliott. He was commenting on the success of Nevision farmer Mrs. Emmertine Thompson, who continues to excel at the St. Croix Agriculture Exhibition. Mrs. Thompson participated in the off-territory category of the exhibition, which included farmers from the Leeward and Windward Islands, and was held at the end of February 2019. The event is into its 48th year.
Her winnings is testimony that we in Nevis were able to produce food that could compete with anyone, anywhere. And being in the USVI in the competition there is also testimony that we are doing something correct here in agriculture.
Director of Agriculture here on Nevis, Mr. Randy Elliott. Minister of Agriculture in St. Kitts, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, has welcomed a project dubbed Preventing the Cost of Invasive Alien Species, IAS, in Barbados and the OECS. The project was launched here in St. Kitts and Nevis on Tuesday, March 19th, and will assist in managing some of the more impacting invasive species in St. Kitts and Nevis, such as the green vervet monkey. Minister Hamilton described the launch as auspicious because it addresses one of the fundamental challenges which persons within the agriculture sector face. He also noted that coming out of the project, the expectations of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis are threefold and are namely a reduction in the IAS threats to terrestrial and marine biodiversity, control and management of targeted local hotspots being adversely impacted by IAS, and collaboration among member states in tackling IAS from a regional standpoint. The project, funded by the Global Environment Facility, took 4 years to develop and received the input from a wide range of national stakeholders and multi-sectorial partners. The IAS project will run for a period of 3 years. Finally, adjustments will be made to the Poverty Alleviation Program, PAP, otherwise known as the Household Assistance Program. That's according to Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris. Under the program, any household earning less than 3,000 EC dollars receive an additional 500 EC dollars. In light of the aforementioned, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is revisiting the household list in keeping with standard procedures to ensure that the funds are being dispersed to families who fall below the 3,000 income threshold. According to Prime Minister Harris, this comes following the issue of persons from the same household registering in the program with different names and titles. He was quoted as saying they ought not to be in the program, and so we are tidying up the program. Moreover, those who were not able to make it into the program will have an opportunity to do so. Prime Minister Harris noted that the program is not an issue of charity, but one of social justice. The Poverty Alleviation Program was launched on December 24, 2018. Meantime, on Friday, March 29th, persons who submitted their banking information can expect to see the $500 deposited to their accounts, while persons receiving check can collect it at the Inland Revenue Department, St. Kitts, on Saturday, March 30th. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here's another one for the steppers.
Swipe to win big in 2019. That's right, the Bank of Nevis Limited is once again giving you, our valued customers, a chance to win big. Just swipe or use your Bond Visa credit card for US $100 for a chance to win a cruise for two, an iPhone XS, or a grocery dash at Best Buy Supermarket.
Say what?
Sign up for a Bond Visa credit card and automatically be entered for a chance to win. This offer ends August 31st, 2019. So tell your friends and family, just swipe to win big with the Bank of Nevis. The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram.
Welcome back, and now the regional news in detail. Out of Guyana, the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, says it cannot be ready to hold the polls before November, 8 months later than required by the Constitution, following the no-confidence motion passed against the government. Additionally, opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo says that's not good enough. The People's Progressive Party, PPP, had insisted elections should have been held by March 19, 2019, in keeping with the 90-day deadline set out by the Constitution, following the successful no-confidence motion on December 21, 2018. In a letter to President David Granger, the GECOM chairman, retired Justice James Patterson, said the commission would not be in a position to conduct general or regional elections before late November. The GECOM chairman said Guyana $3.5 billion was required to hold credible elections. Out of Haiti, Haiti's President Jovenel Moïse is again searching for a prime minister after Jean-Henri Séant and his cabinet were ousted just over 6 months after coming into office. The lower chamber of deputies fired Prime Minister Jean-Henri Séant and his 21-member cabinet in a no-confidence vote on Monday. In the vote to censure the government, 93 deputies voted in favor and 6 against. There were 3 abstentions. Neither Séant or any of his members were present for the vote. When it was taking place, the Prime Minister had been waiting in the Senate, where he had been summoned to answer questions about 5 Americans who had been arrested with an arsenal of illegal weapons in Haiti, but then released at the request of the U.S. government. Following his firing, Séant, who will remain in place as only a caretaker prime minister, along with his caretaker government until his successor is chosen, said the move is unacceptable. News from Jamaica. Minister of Education, Youth and Information Ruel Reid has resigned amid allegations of corruption in his ministry. He has also stepped down from the Senate. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement earlier this week, days after the opposition People's National Party, PNP, called for an investigation into nepotism and corruption in the ministry. Out of Guyana, 140 Venezuelan migrants arrived in Georgetown at 5 a.m. on Wednesday on the MV Barima, which departed from Kumaka in Region 1 on Tuesday, Minister of Citizenship Winston Felix has confirmed. The minister informed that the migrants were documented, immunized, and taken to the Guyana Police Force Eve Leary headquarters in the capital, Georgetown. Of the total number of migrants, about 70 of them had connections with relatives, friends, and acquaintances in the city, into whose care they have since been released. 66 migrants who do not have any connections on the coast remain at Eve Leary, where they are being provided with meals. Additionally, Spanish-speaking Guyanese are on hand to translate any needs and concerns of the Venezuelan migrants to the relevant authorities. Finally, in Dominica, the World Bank has approved a U.S. $27 million project to support the construction of a small 7-megawatt geothermal power plant. The goal is to increase the share of renewables, diversify the country's energy matrix, and identify a clear roadmap for private sector investment in geothermal development. Dominica has a small power system that relies heavily on diesel to produce electricity. The average price of electricity on the island is among the highest in the world, with around 33 US cents per kilowatt hour as of December 2016, and customers are exposed to the volatility of international oil prices. Geothermal is more cost efficient, climate resilient, and greener. Following Hurricane Maria, 75% of the power network was damaged, leaving the whole island without electricity. In response, the government adopted the National Resilient Development Strategy, which sets Dominica's vision to become the first climate-resilient country in the world. Diversifying the energy mix is a key element of this strategy. That's it for our regional stories. Stay with us for news around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. R&B star R. Kelly has asked a U.S. court to let him travel to Dubai to perform concerts next month. According to a motion filed in Cook County Circuit Court, R. Kelly also plans to meet members of the United Arab Emirates royal family. The embattled singer faces 10 charges of sexual abuse involving 4 alleged victims, 3 of whom were minors. He had to surrender his passport last month after being released on bail and is struggling to pay various fees. R. Kelly has denied all allegations against him. The motion filed on Wednesday claims R. Kelly has been battling to pay child support, legal fees, and everyday expenses after the cancellation of his record contract and 2 U.S. concerts. His songs have also been removed from several streaming services. He cannot work and consequently cannot make a living if he is confined to Illinois or even the United States, according to the 5-page document. Officials in San Francisco have proposed a new law to ban e-cigarette sales until their health effects are evaluated by the U.S. government. The law appears to be the first of its kind in the U.S. and seeks to curb a rising usage by young people. Critics, however, says it will make it harder for people to kick addiction. A second city law would bar making, selling, or distributing tobacco on city property and is aimed at e-cigarette firm renting on Pier 70. Last week, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, the national regulator, released its proposed guidelines giving companies until 2021 to apply to have their e-cigarette products evaluated. New Zealand will ban all types of semi-automatic weapons and assault rifles following the Christchurch attacks, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has said. The announcement comes less than a week after 50 people were killed at 2 mosques, allegedly by a lone gunman. Prime Minister Ardern said she expected new legislation to be in place by April 11th, saying, "Our history changed forever, now our laws will too." All of the dead have now been formally identified, police have confirmed. The gunman, armed with semi-automatic rifles, including an AR-15, is believed to have modified his weapons with high-capacity magazines, the part of the gun which stores ammunition so they could hold more bullets. As of Thursday, several weapons have been reclassified as military-style semi-automatic firearms, making them harder to buy. Finally, the Chinese authorities say 6 people have been killed and 30 injured by an explosion at a chemical plant in the country's eastern Jiangsu province. Video from the scene shows a giant fireball and a number of people injured by a resulting shock wave that hit surrounding buildings. The BBC's John Sudworth reports from Beijing.
Video footage shows a large fire burning at the plant, followed by a giant explosion. Moments later, workers, some with bloodied faces, some holding their ears, can be seen walking away. Others lie motionless on the ground. Another social media post shows a number of children who appear to have been injured by flying glass in a nearby school. More than 100 fire trucks have been sent to the factory, which makes fertilizer, and is located in an industrial zone in the eastern city of Yancheng.
That brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
See you, John.
Betty, how come you never tell me what's going on up at TDC?
Well, I'm glad you asked because TDC Automotive has some awesome deals. Get the car a new spare tire for just $100 plus VAT. And they have selected tires for 30% off. And for the Jeep, if you buy a selected Goodyear tire, you can get a second one for just $99.
Well.
And not finished yet. They're offering up to 30% off selected Valvoline oils and universal car mats and a whopping 50% off Energix batteries.
TDC Automotive not making no joke. I going up there now.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail. In basketball, Goran Dragic had 22 points, and the Miami Heat snapped the Spurs' 9-game winning streak with a 110-105 victory on Wednesday night, sending Dwayne Wade home a winner in his final game in San Antonio. Still in basketball, James Harden scored 57 points, but the Memphis Grizzlies outlasted Houston 126-125 in overtime Wednesday night, handing the Rockets only their second loss in the last 14 games. Elsewhere, Lauri Markkanen had 32 points and 13 rebounds. Chris Dunn scored a season-high 26, including 8 in overtime, to go with 13 assists, and the short-handed Chicago Bulls beat the fading Washington Wizards 126-120 on Wednesday night. Meantime, Donovan Mitchell scored 30 points, Rudy Gobert made all 7 shots and added 18 points, and the Utah Jazz romped to their 5th straight lopsided victory by beating the New York Knicks 137-116 on Wednesday night. And rookie Colin Sexton scored 25 points, Jordan Clarkson added 23, and the Cleveland Cavaliers delayed Milwaukee from clinching the Central Division on Wednesday night with a 107-102 win over the Bulls Bucks, who were without their superstar. In football, Juventus forward Cristiano Ronaldo had been fined €20,000 by UEFA for a goal celebration in the win over Atletico Madrid in the last 16 of the Champions League. The 34-year-old appeared to mimic Atletico boss Diego Simeone, who turned to fans and grabbed his crotch during his side's 2-0 first-leg victory. Ronaldo made the gesture when completing his hat-trick in the return leg as Juventus won 3-0. Simeone was fined £17,000 for the act. Juventus has been drawn to play Dutch side Ajax in the quarterfinals. In local sports, on Wednesday 20th March, the Charlestown Preschool held its annual sports meet at the E.T. Willett Park. The athletes participated in events such as the Solemn Pole Race, obstacle races, endurance races, flat races, and 4x50-meter relays. The teachers also participated in a 60 meters race, and both male and female parents later followed suit. The overall scores deemed Red House as the champions. Red House 302 points, Blue House 266 points, and Green House 257 points. Finally, in athletics, Jamaican athlete Kimoy Campbell was told by doctors he had died after collapsing on the track during February's Melrose Games in New York. The 28-year-old was acting as pacemakers in the men's 3,000 meter when he fell into the infield and had to be given medical attention by the side of the track. Campbell spent 17 days in hospital and had a procedure to implant an internal ICD. He added that despite numerous tests, doctors were unable to deduce the cause of the heart failure. A donation page has been set up by his girlfriend, and sponsors Reebok had given him $50,000 to help with the hefty medical bills he expects to receive, as he had no medical insurance. That's it for the sports segment. The general weather forecast is next. Welcome back. And now the local weather forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. Weather tonight mostly fair with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Weather tomorrow partly sunny with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Winds east-southeast tonight, then shifting to the east tomorrow with speeds between 15 and 28 kilometers per hour or 8 to 15 knots. Seas 1.2 to 1.5 meters or 4 to 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:14 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Thursday, 21st March 2019. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, Prince Charles visits St. Kitts and Nevis after over 4 decades. And drink more water, the focus of World Water Day here on Nevis. Regionally, search begins for new Haitian Prime Minister after government is ousted. Internationally, R. Kelly asks judge for permission to perform in Dubai concerts. And in sports, Heat snaps Spurs' 9-game winning streak 110 to 105. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tamio Reed.